What's up, everybody? Um, Today I want to talk about the books that I feel like just disappointed me. And the reason I even bothered to make this video is, I don't know, I want like a discussion around these books. I feel like I could easily be wrong about them. Like maybe I just didn't approach them correctly, or just something was off when I read these books. Maybe I should like reread them in the future or something. But before I say like anything really negative about them and specify why they disappointed me, I want to make a really important claim, and that is I care a lot about these authors. I am not, criticizing them just to criticize them. Like I'm saying all of this because I don't want comments to be so heated. I just want like a genuine discussion about these things and just kind of see what people say. Okay, so with that being said, let's go towards the first book, which was Oliver Twist. I feel like I could say a lot about this book, but the main two things that disappointed me were the following. One, I felt like he was such a passive character. Like I feel like I have to emphasize that too, because that was just so odd to me. Because even in the back of this book, it says, one of Dickens' most popular novels, Oliver Twist is the story of a young orphan who dares to say, "Please, sir, I want some more." Like, it doesn't make sense how people would even see Oliver Twist as an active character, kind of like an active protagonist. Like, literally in that scene when he says, "I want some more," he is being told to do that by like a group of people. Like, it was even like his own intention, if that makes any sense. Like, it literally says right here, a council was held for like the whole, who should go up to the guy. Lots were cast who should walk up to the master after supper that evening and ask for more, and it fell to Oliver Twist. Like, it doesn't seem like he had that much agency in the first place, like, to do that. So I don't understand. Like, it was such a weird thing to say. I would hope that people don't see him as an active protagonist, because that really didn't capture what was even going on. And then a second thing that really bothered me, and I feel like maybe I'm just crazy about this, but another thing that really just bothered me was, wow, he is so upset about like anyone criticizing his mother, which makes sense, obviously. Like, you don't want your own family to be like criticized, and then and people just say it like right in front of you, like what? But the thing is, there is no relationship established between Oliver Twist and the mom. Like, we have no, there's no fundamental thing that he should really be upset about. Like, maybe in principle, but like if you want something concrete, like you want something, there should at least be a moment, right? Like, have you seen The Arrival? That's kind of what I expect, where it's like, oh look, mother-daughter kind of connection. It makes sense because you're seeing them like go through it. You're seeing them having these beautiful moments, but also these really like heated moments. But regardless of what moments they are, at least they're there and they establish this connection, this bond, right? And in this one, it doesn't happen. Like, and that's so odd to me. Like, that is genuinely, it's almost like a pet peeve of mine, to be honest. Like, go watch a movie where there's like this movie, read a book, whatever, and just see how often they kind of just expect you to like care about the characters like relationship just because they're family. Like, that's so weird and honestly kind of lazy, because you need those scenes, you need those moments of like, oh, this bond is there, right? And so when he gets upset whenever anyone brings up his mom, it's just weird. I don't know. It really, as a writer, I guess it really disappointed me. Like, I don't know why he was writing like that. Tell me what you think about that. Am I being annoying about that? Like, genuinely, I feel like I'm being annoying. Like, I tell people stuff like that all the time, and they're like, but they're family. I'm like, wait, that doesn't like that's not, to me that's not good enough, and I get so upset. You have no idea. Other book that I want to talk about is this one. It is A Man Without a Country by Kurt Vonnegut. Nice little edition, right? I think I got it used, and it's actually in really good condition. Anyways, the thing is, I feel like I usually get a lot of joy from Kurt Vonnegut's work, and this one, I don't know. I feel like he was saying a lot without saying a lot. It was really odd to me. And what really gets to me is that this is his last book, you know, and for it being the last one, it just doesn't really have much. I think at one point, I did like a quote, how he explained, you know, like we think we're so smart or whatever, like as a human species, but we're like destroying the world at the same time. That's good. You know, that's a good like humorous point to make, because like it does. First, it's just true, right? Like we do think ourselves as like amazing and all that, but then we don't even care about the own planet that we live on. You know, it's so weird. But he makes me laugh at that remark. Like it's actually really smart when he starts talking about that. But other than that, I don't know. Like I when I flip through the pages too, I get really sad because I know he's trying to say a lot, and he's trying to be funny and all that. But I don't have anything really highlighted. Like at least what I'm looking at through right now, there's nothing that I thought was worth keeping. I don't know. That's very upsetting to me. I will give him credit though. I will give him credit. At one point, he did say something along the lines of like he was answering the whole like what's the meaning of life or whatever. Is like just to like, I forget how he says it, but like basically it's just to mess around and do whatever you want kind of thing. That maybe I am digging deep into that one, but I love that quote so much just because I feel like it points out something that we just don't think about. This world that we live in is still in our control. You know what I mean? Like, fine, there's obviously power structures that we have to deal with, blah, 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 all that stuff. But we still choose what it is, right? Like, it's not like our agency is just completely gone. We could still do something about it. And the people who forget about that are not helping. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's a revolutionary idea, to be honest, in my mind. But other than that, there's not really much to say about this book. I don't know. It felt a little like quirky sometimes, which I don't know. I don't know if that was the vibe he was going for, but I gotta say, overall disappointed just because, wow, didn't get, like the insights were minimal, I guess. And compared to his other work, that's the main thing. Compared to his other work, doesn't feel like it's, you know, all that. Other book that I want to talk about is one by Ray Bradbury. I have a collection from Library of America. By the way, big time recommend these books. Very high quality. The only thing wrong with them is I would say is maybe like the paper is too thin. But at the same time, I kind of like that because I haven't had any problems with them. Like these books from Library of America. Like you'd think since they're thin, like maybe it would rip easier. But I don't know. Hasn't happened to me yet. And I have like 6 or 7 of these books, like these collections or whatever. And even the thin, like the fact that they're thin, it feels like a good thing just because like, look, this is, you know, around 800 to 900 pages and it doesn't look like it, you know. This is, wait, I know I'm kind of going on a tangent, I don't care. This is like 470 pages and look at the difference. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think that's nice if you're trying to save space on your bookshelf or whatever. Or even if you're trying to like take it somewhere, obviously. But anyways, back to the main thing of what I'm saying. So I read Something Wicked This Way Comes. And I feel like that already sets up like some expectations because I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure I'm right. That's Shakespeare, right? Now, I'm not saying that you have to be brilliant at Shakespeare just because you started quoting Shakespeare, but you are setting up something, right? And it really fell flat. Like, I did not know that this book was gonna be like that at all. Like, it felt like a R.L. Stein kind of book, which is okay. Like, I'm not gonna completely disparage that genre, but wow, I just did not enjoy it at all. Like, especially since I saw Ray Bradbury as someone with pretty decent insight, right? Like Fahrenheit 451. That's the first book I read by him, and to me that set like the bar up as well. And that one just didn't feel like there was anything. I mean, and something wicked this way comes. I feel like there wasn't anything to think about, and it was just odd to me. Like, the story wasn't even that interesting, to be honest. Like, it's just hard. I get it. It's hard to make those type of books, to be honest, because you're dealing with, like, you're making a whole story with kids, and it's like the kids they're just kids. Like, what are they gonna do in this situation? You know what I mean? But either way, like, obviously insight is still possible. Like, one of my favorite books is The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. Like, he has that line talking about like the difference between work and play. One, you're obliged to do, the other one you're not obliged to do. And he makes like that one scene is just like so good, not just because of the insight, but because you feel like the story really just lines up well with what he's about to say, and it's done just so cleverly. But in this book, yeah, it wasn't anything that like kind of blew my mind. I know I was going in it in the wrong direction, but even when I was just trying to enjoy it, I feel like there was nothing to enjoy. Like, I guess it was supposed to be kind of like creepy-ish, but I wasn't like creeped out. Like, I'm probably not the target audience. I would admit that. And even after, by the way, like, I didn't give up on Ray Bradbury. And right now I'm actually reading Martian Chronicles, which I think is a far better book. Like, wow, that book. If you haven't read that one is a really good one. Hopefully I don't sound like such an awful person. Like, I'm not trying to put them down, It's just something about these books were never that good. Like, why? Okay, like Oliver Twist, why couldn't they establish, Charles Dickens, why couldn't Charles Dickens establish a relationship between the mom and the kid, like, at all? I know he's like an orphan and that makes it complicated, but then why would you be upset? Right? Like, why would you be upset if someone brings up the mom? Or in like A Man Without a Country, I just don't understand. Like, if the essays were meant to be insightful, it just didn't always feel like that. Like, maybe he was just always just poking too much fun, and that's not really the same thing. And then with Ray Bradbury's work, I don't know. It felt like it was supposed to be a fun book, but it wasn't that adventurous, to be honest. It felt like a tame book. Like, the creativity didn't want to go out there too much. But I don't know. That's just what I thought about these books. They really let me down, to be honest. But don't get me wrong, I love Charles Dickens, I love Kurt Vonnegut, and I love Ray Bradbury. If you think I approached these books incorrectly or something, or you think I'm just completely wrong, please leave a comment. I would love a whole discussion about it. Just try not to be so so heated, to be honest. Like, I'm not trying to be like, like, I don't want to have like a fight on like YouTube. I know, like let's be civil, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's all I have to say. Have a good one.